Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by Canesware today at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to Canesware.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want, and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Canesware today.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On the Clock, NFL Draft Coverage Show on the Finstock Sports Network. I'm your host, Bobby Finstock, joined always by the one and only Coach Vogel. What's up, Coach?
Yeah, what's up? We on the clock, baby. We on the clock.
Yes, sir. We are on the clock. We are going to talk everything NFL Draft. There's a lot of news, trades being made. The Bears finally made a trade.
Insanity. This weekend was insanity.
It's crazy. And the Miami Dolphins have been active in free agency. We're going to touch on that and what that means for the NFL draft. But before then, first off, Coach, how you been, brother?
I am awesome, dude. I think I had actually tweeted out earlier this week. I was like, this just feels like the most chaotic free agency period that we've had in a while. I'm not just talking Dolphins. I'm talking like things popping all over the NFL. It's been fun to kind of get on Twitter or whatever. I'm going to continue to call it Twitter. It is.
Yeah, it's Twitter to me, dude. I'm never changing.
It's been awesome, dude. Like just crazy things. I mean, Mac Jones getting traded to the Jaguars. Wilkins signing in almost said Oakland, in Las Vegas. Miami Greer somehow making magic happen, getting us
somehow, some way, getting deals done. You know,
I like the moves. You know, the cornerback safety positions got filled nicely. You know, some guys that I wanted last year that we ended up getting this year. So, and you end up crippling Buffalo a little bit, which is fine with me.
Fine by me. Hey, he keeps it. You know, no joke. There's no doubt Miami. I don't want to say let's take a step back because we got to wait for next season. But roster talent-wise, obviously it's taken a step back. However, you look at the Jets, you look at the Patriots, you look at Buffalo, and you're saying, hey, you know what? We still got a lot of talent on this team. And even if we're going to take a step back, we're still right there, you know? Right. And talk about, we talk about who we've lost. Christian Wilkins, Robert Hunt, Van Ginkel, Brandon Jones, Laquan Davis, Xavier Howard, Baker, Agba, Kean Crossan, all gone. But you look at who Miami's added. Jordan Poyer, Shaq Barrett, Jordan Brooks, Aaron Brewer at center. They got an offensive they brought back Isaiah Wynn, Jonnu Smith, Anthony Walker, Gallimore, Benito Jones, Kendall Fuller, Jody Fortson, Jordan Poyer. Who did they also brought in? Who did they bring in today?
And a lineman from the Eagles, but it's something maybe he was a backup. I don't remember what his name is.
Quality depth. Let's see, what's his name?
Driscoll?
Yes, Jack Driscoll.
Driscoll, yeah.
And they met with someone from Seattle today, offensive line.
CCRR said it was Driscoll, and he said it's a good signing, so I'll believe him.
Yeah, let me thank everyone who's tuning in right now, whether you're watching on X, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. We appreciate everyone watching right now. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel, share the show. Got a lot to talk about. Let me see who's in the comments. Forgive me, guys. Daniel Meehan in the house. CCRR. Driscoll was a good signing. Absolutely. Hey, this is what I love about Miami's signings so far. There's a few that I really like. Overall, though, it's been a solid free agency. something I talked about early on in the offseason was conservative, smart signings. That way, when you go into the NFL draft, you're going there with as less needs as possible. So that way you could not have to reach for a player. You don't have to force yourself to draft a corner or a safety or a linebacker or a tight end or a lineman. You could go, you know what? If someone falls to me that on a normal day I probably couldn't get because I still need a dire need here, now I could go get that special player. You signed Jonnu Smith. What if it's some way, somehow, the sky falls and Brock Bowers is sitting there at 21? Now you could go get that guy. What if the sky falls and Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors is somehow, which, let's be real, but one of those guys are sitting there at 21. Now you don't have to think twice. You go get that guy, or J.C. Latham, as my brother Harrison was talking about earlier, whatever. Somebody's sitting there, you go get that guy.
And somebody's going to be somebody that you want to be there is going to be there. With this being a heavy quarterback at the top and heavy O-line, tackle, wide receiver,
100%.
He could slide. Woo, Brock Bowers.
Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, JJ McCarthy. You think of whoever, Bo Nix. If the draft there's a rumor that the draft could go 4 to 5 picks on quarterbacks early on. That's going to push a lot of talent down to Miami. Dallas Turner, Chop Robinson is another name. There's a lot of good names that could be sitting there at Miami's pick that Miami goes, holy crap, luxury. Now we can go get this pick. Miami could say, this guy's here. A team calls you on the phone. I want that guy. All right. You want him? Either we're going to pick him up because we can do it, or you're going to give us a buttload of picks. So Miami is setting themselves up nicely, and I think the NFL draft is setting itself nicely for Miami. CCRR says if they draft Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver, or Tavondre Sweat, defensive nose tackle, I'm good. I like Driscoll out of Auburn. Barnett over AVG was a big disappointment, especially only saving $1 million from it. I think just losing Van Ginkel was a huge disappointment. I would have loved to keep him. I mean, Robert Hunt, Christian Wilkins already had it in my head. They were gone because of the price. But Van Ginkel, I think, would have been a great re-signing for Miami.
He would have. I was a little shocked to see that he ended up leaving. But, he's going to get paid, so.
So, to update everybody on the list of who Miami has met with, per C.I. Clancy on Twitter, the Dolphins have met with Ryan Cooper, corner of Oregon State. So, that's a new name to add to that list if you're keeping track. I don't know what. I think I bit the side of my tongue because now it hurts. I don't know when it happened, but now I'm sounding muffled. It hurts when I talk.
It hurts.
Hey, man, let's talk about Chicago for a minute. What's up, Hooked Up Joe? Talk about Chicago. Sound like Chicago.
Right there.
Bears trade Justin Fields. Chicago's now officially made their intentions clear what direction they're going with that first pick. They traded Justin Fields, their starter from last season, to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh now, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. They traded only for a 6th-round pick. Could convert to a 4th-rounder. If Justin starts for 50% of the time or is involved in 51% of the offensive snaps.
Yeah.
My question is, first of all, I like the trade for the Steelers. Doubling down, set yourself up nicely. You got Russell Wilson, now Justin Fields. I love what they did. Very un-Pittsburgh-like. But do you like the value that the Chicago Bears got for Fields? Or do you think they should have waited a little longer? Even if they were intending to get a quarterback, do you think they should have waited to see if the value would have went up later on in the offseason or in preseason?
I think personally I see it both ways. You obviously want the most value item that you can possibly get, but at the same time, I think the Bears just want everybody to know that they're moving on. They just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. And let everybody know that there's, 2 quarterbacks on our mind that we're going to do our homework on who we're going to bring to the house. So, I think if you hold on to him until camp starts, somebody gets hurt, you probably would have got a lot better, a lot higher pick on that. But then you also, we talked last week about that the split on the team, those guys that were Fields guys and the guys that want somebody new, and I think that would have caused too much of an issue. Now they're just, now it's just whoever is the new guy in house is the new guy in house.
Absolutely. I think we touched on it last week, or maybe I touched on another show, but I believe Chicago had to get this deal done soon.
Yeah.
And definitely before the season, because DJ Moore had expressed that he would like to see Justin Fields come back.
Mm-hmm.
The fan base was hammering for Justin Fields. If they would have gone on and drafted Caleb Williams or whomever with that pick and it kept Justin Fields, first off, you're going to have a lot of noise beforehand, a lot of distractions. And if you would have gone with Caleb Williams and kept Justin Fields as a backup, the minute the rookie struggles, people are going to be banging the table for the vet or Justin Fields.
Or vice versa. Yep, exactly.
So now you let Justin Fields ride off in the sunset. Let's see what he can do in a brand new situation under a great coach and Mike Tomlin. And now you've set your rookie up for success because now he doesn't have that noise behind him, but also the weapons he's going to have. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. You're doing yourself a huge favor at that point. Chicago, I think, is being very aggressive. I love what they're doing. We say Caleb Williams. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I was listening to Pat McAfee's show, and Zito's a big Bears fan, and he said that this is the first time in a really long time that a GM and coach finally can pick their own. They're not, like now that they got rid of Fields, now they're picking their own quarterback. So I think that's important for those guys too. But if you're gonna do that, then I think you need to extend the coach and the GM. Let those guys have the 2 or 3 years with Williams or.
Oh, you're going to have to, right? Because you're letting them pick their guys, so now they're married to that guy. And we've seen where guys gotten fired before and the quarterback remains, but you got to let those guys build. And so far, they're kind of around. They're already kind of a little ahead of that because they traded for DJ Moore last year.
Mm-hmm.
They traded for Keenan Allen. They got an extra pick in this trade. They got a 9th overall pick that they could add another weapon or go get Dallas Turner, whomever is still on that board, BPA. Chicago's kind of ahead of the curve. So I like what they're doing. We talk about Caleb Williams, but that doesn't mean they don't go get Jaden Daniels or Drake May or JJ.
Right.
Who do you think should be the target for them at number 1?
I mean, for me, the number 1 guy on my board is Jaden Daniels. And that's just when you compare last year's film with this year's film, he obviously had a better season. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. And for me, watching last year's film with Williams and this year's film, he just looked off. He looked off the whole year. Obviously the first time I took notice was the Notre Dame game where anybody that was in his face, it felt he wasn't comfortable, and it always looked like he was throwing sidearm. Feet were tap dancing around. So I'm not saying that he's not going to be good. I mean, everybody's saying, the quarterback gurus are saying that he's a generational might be, but just, I like Jaden Daniels a little bit better, and he'd be the guy that I'd take number 1.
Yeah, I'm with you. First off, I know it's hard to pass on Caleb Williams, especially with the hype behind him around the NFL, around the so-called experts, but watching Jaden Daniels, seeing the explosiveness, the natural talent, the arm, the size, he's 6'3". He's not some small guy.
Right.
It would be hard for me to pass by him or pass him up.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, it's so high risk, high reward because as much natural talent is there on film and when you're watching him, there's something about it where it's like, this could really cost me a job. It's the same thing as passing him up.
Right. Yeah.
It could cost the guy a job.
Right.
Because if he ends up blowing it up in Washington and you're the one who got him, you skipped him, you're not going to get a job for a while.
Yeah. I just felt it felt like he was always in big play mode this year. Like he was always trying to find the big play instead of the safe play.
Yeah.
It was kind of the stuff that I saw in film that made me, Hooked Up Joe thinks that Caleb's going to be a bust.
Hey, there's a lot going on. A lot of people feel that way, because it's when you get so much hype behind you,
right?
It's going to be, and then you hear all the noise that's coming out, which could be more agents and teams trying to blow smoke up everybody's,
right,
and trying to push him down. That's really what it is. And it's true. People have to stop throwing around the term generational talent.
How can there be a generational talent every draft?
Exactly.
That's what it feels like. This quarterback's he's generational talent next year. Oh, he's the generational talent.
Generational talent. Let's see here. Let me make sure. Okay. Coming on to the Vikings. Talking about making trades.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings and Texans made a trade earlier this week. Vikings sent pick 42, 188, and a 2025 second-round pick to Houston to trade back into the first round for pick 23. Now that gives the Vikings 2 first-round picks. I don't think anybody believes Vikings are staying put with their picks. They're looking to move up.
Yep, they want top 5, baby.
And who do you think they're targeting?
J.J. McCarthy.
Really?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, they said a bunch, if I got it straight in my head, they're sending several scouts to his pro day. They are in love with J.J. McCarthy, is what I'm hearing.
Probably because they're looking to aim at the probably pick 4 or 5 there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And might be one of the last 2 remaining out of those top tier quarterback.
Right.
Now we have said that JJ is probably the safest quarterback pick out of those picks. Where he's that NFL pro starter type quarterback. He's played in a pro style offense. He
may go for Drake May, in my opinion. That's Drake what I'm hearing.
Drake May is that quarterback that we discussed earlier a couple weeks ago, where it was just kind of like, I see it, but I see it, but I don't feel it in regards of he's one of those. He's quarterback number 2 or even number 1. I mean, I see his talent, and he could be a talented.
I see the talent, but we were talking about like what are his big wins? JJ McCarthy, there are a ton of big wins for him, right? I mean, he won how many? He beat Ohio State, and then they beat Washington, and then who they beat in the championship.
Well, that's why again, he had a lot of good talent, Blake Corum, etc. But at the same time, he has those wins. He's played in a pro style offense. He had a great coach. He's already familiar where it's like, okay, Kevin O'Connell now gets him with Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
You get that guy, and then you're like, okay, we're set. Because maybe he's not going to be elite, but he's going to be pretty damn safe and good compared to boom or bust with Caleb Williams.
And I don't think Michigan didn't have any top 10 receivers on their team. As we're going through our wide receiver, I don't remember seeing anybody from Michigan on there.
So Roman Wilson is probably their best one, right?
Right. And then you get hired or you get drafted to Minnesota, and now you're throwing to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson.
No, you're good. You're thinking about draft again. That's D lineman, bro. Let's do. And talking about the top 5, a lot of people believe that the top 4 to 5 picks are going to be quarterbacks. So if we're talking Caleb, Jaden, May, JJ, who's number 5? Who would be the 5th one taken early on if it was? Is it Bo? Is it Penix? Is there another name that we're not thinking of?
No, I think it's Bo Nix. John Vogel, who's massive into the draft, he doesn't like Penix at all. He said there's a lot of the stuff that's there, and then he just doesn't feel like he's very mobile in the pocket. So he thinks it's a later round pick. So if I'm guessing, I think quarterback 5 would be Bo Nix. I think somebody takes him in the first round, right? And then you have the 3 or 4 tackles that'll go, and you and I found 5 or 6 wide receivers that are all first round talent. we're not even the D linemen and the cornerbacks and the safeties and those people on top of it. So
my thing is like talk about defensive linemen, wide receiver, line, offensive line as well. The draft, I think, is so deep. Wide receiver is so damn deep with talent.
It really is.
Like you could get a steal either at 21 or 55. We're talking about Miami. Daniel says that he said something earlier. Let me pull this up. Daniel Meehan, who always appreciate him watching and interacting and commenting. But he says wide receiver was high on my priority list before, but in light of Tyreek Hill's report yesterday, it's priority number 1 in April. O-line is set. The only position would be TT. I wouldn't go as far to say offensive line is set. Offensive line is set in regards of depth. Right. Now you're in regards of like at 21, you don't have to go, okay, I have to pick a center or I have to pick a guard now because we're so dead in the water. No, you're set in regards of depth. So if you go to 21 and you see a stud receiver there, you could say, I could hold off on offensive line now.
Right. Yep.
Unless the guy that's there that's fallen to your pick, and you're like, I have to get this guy.
And I think you could say the same thing about wide receiver, though. Unless like you're saying, one of your top 2 or 3 guys is there at 21. You absolutely want him. But because the wide receiver class is also going to be
so deep,
yeah,
for sure,
100%. Some guys at D tackle that if they're sitting there at 21 and you're just licking your chops. Yes, he's there. I want him. Take him. I think that will be the benefit of the draft for Miami then, because you'll have a lot of those, which 3 weeks ago were high quality needs, now aren't necessarily. Yeah, Joe, best player available. Hopefully that fills the need.
100% hooked up, Joe.
Instead of just,
That's what I'm saying, man, and that's what I love it. Look, let's just go with this. The Dolphins went into free agency basically with needs at interior offensive line, center, defensive line, and talking about center. First off, Connor Williams, hoping for the best. I know his injury is a lot worse. We've heard that. I think Scotty brought it up a lot. Confirmed that he's just going to wait it out. He's going to see how it goes. We'll see how it plays out for him. But hopefully, hoping for the best. But Miami went in there into free agency, interior offensive line, center, D-line, linebacker, edge, tight end, corner, safety, wide receiver, all needs for Miami going into free agency, and being over the cap that much to go under the cap with as little money and still be able to address interior offensive line, center, D-line, linebacker, tight end, corner, safety. All those positions were addressed. Wide receiver, they brought in Braxton Berrios, but he's more return help, and he wasn't very good in regards of wide receiver 3. He's 4 or 5 in my book. And I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a solid depth piece. You still have Easy E, but that's nothing to write home about. That's a body right now.
Yeah.
That sets you up for me that I think right now your best player available is the best option. But receiver, edge, and interior offensive lineman are still like the top 3. If you have to go a position at 21, those are your 3 options, unless best player available. The receiving class is strong. Waddle is going into his contract year, though. And Hill has expressed and has said, he said it in April last year on Sports Radio 810 WHB, that he plans to retire in 2025. Was to play out his contract and then retire.
Right.
I know the answer to this. Should the Dolphins target a receiver in the draft? Yes. I think we both agree.
Right.
Should they be consider taking one at 21? I say absolutely. You say?
I wouldn't, like I said, I don't think I would be upset if they went wide receiver 21. But I if there's one of those, I'm just going to always bang the table for my guys. And we don't historically outside of, was it Jake Long that we took number 1 overall?
Yep.
Do we ever, have we ever done anything big with O-line? But I mean, wide receiver is a need. And with, Hill doing stupid stuff, at some point it's going to hurt us where he's not going to be able to play, and we're going to need wide receiver depth. So I don't, Hill and Waddle, and Berrios, I'm not comfortable with a wide receiver room. So you definitely want wide receiver.
Well, let me ask you this, because Coach, let me ask you this, because I know we both are in regards to both sides of the ball in the trenches,
right.
Defense, offensive line. Armstead is your left tackle. Hopefully they get Kendall Lamb back. I'm gonna feel a whole lot better if they do. Terran Armstead.
They did. Isn't that who they just signed?
No, I didn't see
they
that.
just signed. Wynn. I'm sorry, it was
Isaiah Wynn.
Isaiah
Terran Armstead, left tackle. Yeah. Isaiah Wynn, left guard. Aaron Brewer, center. Eichenberg, right guard. Austin Jackson, right tackle. You hear those names. You hear that offensive line. If that's your starting offensive line week 1, how are you feeling?
I want a better right guard. I think Eichenberg is what Eichenberg is. He's a backup role player at center and guard. And that's fine. I just don't.
1 game, 2 games.
Right.
Not full time.
Not. And unfortunately, he was forced to have to go full time between center and guard because we had so many O-line.
And Isaiah Wynn, he's a solid piece, but he's a depth piece in my opinion. I think you could ride. You could go into the season with him as the starter, but how many games is he going to play? I think you'd be better off if you target a guy who you could play. You target 2 guys who could play either guard and right guard and left guard, or go with 2 guys, and then you're comfortable. But definitely you need to get a guard. You should be targeting a guard, whether through trade, free agency, or the draft.
And I don't mind if you're picking somebody that's the guard center combo. You're going to
Graham
need
Barton.
Yeah, Barton or Frazier could play guard or center, even though he was.
I was just going to ask you that. With Anthony Manzano's asking, when you look at Zach Frazier, is he versatile or is he just mainly a center?
No, I mean he's an athlete, dude. He's an athlete. I mean in my book, the kid from Oregon is 1, and Anthony Frazier. I mean Zach Frazier is 1A. I mean he's a natural center. But I think if you brought him on first and he had to start out at guard, I think he could play guard just as. But yeah, either Frazier or Barton, either one of those 2, if they were available. I don't know. You might be able to wait on Frazier a little bit, but the kid from Duke, and then Manzano asked, who do we feel like is the best fit for Drake May? The Raiders, the Patriots, the Commanders, or the Seahawks? I don't know.
Well, the Seahawks just traded for another quarterback.
Yeah, it's probably the Patriots. Would be
the
my
Patriots.
guess.
I think would be the best bet.
Yeah,
Patriots would be the best bet. How about Kingsley from BYU? He has experience playing both guard positions and both tackle positions.
And if it were me, my preference is somebody that can play guard center. Guard tackle's a little bit different of a position. I want those, those stocky wrestler types at guard and center.
Yeah.
And try and have more athletic tackle, big, long-armed, long-legged people on the wings.
There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and as the comments continue coming in. First off, we got 77 people watching live right now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Everyone watching right now. First off, thank you. You're watching On the Clock on the Fitz Talk Sports Network, sponsored by Kingswear, and the Greatest Show on Surf. Just go to greatestshowonsurf.com or .shop for some awesome Miami Dolphins themed gear. Promo code FIDSTALK, you save 50%. Let's see. Fids up, man. Hammer time. Great to see you, brother. All right. Talking about receivers. Let's touch on the top wide receivers in this draft, in our opinion. Coach, you ready for that?
Let's rock and roll, baby. Wide receivers.
Wide receivers. Hold on. Wait.
The prima donnas. Throw me the damn ball.
We got Wingate in the back here doing something. Let's see. Let's wait and see what he's doing. I don't want
Wingate's going to be our.
Maybe he is coming on that. see what he got going on. Let's see. Coach, you got a comment?
I'm telling you right now, if Joe Alt fell to 15, I would figure out a way to make that happen. He's my number one, obviously, and then the kid from Penn State I also like a lot too. To move up to 16, that's what, 4 picks.
Well, you look at what the Jets did. The Jets signed Tyron Smith and traded for Morgan Moses. So that takes him out of the tackle spot.
Yep.
I
think San Diego is who I'm hearing is will more than likely go tackle, but that's
they cut Mike Williams, the Chargers. You mean Los Angeles?
Oh yeah,
Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. They traded Keenan Allen, so they're going. They have to go receiver. I know they got Quentin Johnston, but that's not enough.
Yeah,
unless they trust Joshua Palmer.
I thought they went tackle last year? Did that guy not pan out? Didn't they take the kid from the Northwestern?
They took no, that's Skoronski. That went to the Titans.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Skoronski went to the Titans. All right. Let's see what. Oh, okay, cool. He is working it out. We'll let him add that in there. He's getting our top 5 as we're waiting.
Yeah, boy. Now, Anthony, that's somebody that if they fell to 16, I'd try and figure out a way to go get Brock Bowers. I mean,
I will say that I was messing around with this simulator, and I said, let me just play around with the Chicago Bears. And I traded somehow, some way. I got the 18th pick, and Miami wanted to trade up to 18, and so I was like, I just did it because I just wanted to see what the simulator thought they were trading up for.
Right,
and they actually traded up for Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner, that's who they traded up from 21 to 18 for in that mock.
Dallas Turner.
Yeah,
interesting. No, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers.
Let's see. Let Coach run. All right, Coach. As we got yours up, so I'm gonna pop yours in here.
Oh, mine are up. All right, hold on.
I'm gonna get yours. I'm gonna get yours up here. Wingate is taking care of it, so we'll see if he gets mine.
Okay.
Booyah!
Number 3 is a surprise. You mean? Want to go ahead and talk about it now? Or you
brother, go right ahead. Yeah, talk about your top 5, man.
Yeah, so number 1, I went with Malik Neighbors. And Marvin Harrison Jr., I went 2. I just felt like when I watched the tape that Malik Neighbors showed me what I wanted to see out of that number 1 wide receiver that I didn't see out of Marvin Harrison Jr. His film just popped. He was doing stuff all over the place, making beautiful plays. One of my favorite plays is he had the deep, and the guy, the underneath guy was the one they threw the ball to, and he transitioned from wide receiver catcher into stop. Now I become a blocker underneath, which that was one of my favorite plays of his where he wasn't catching the ball. I had Keon Coleman 4 and Rome Odunze 5, and then Javon Baker out of UCF. He was originally committed to Alabama. 52 receptions, 1,139 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I had kind of DM'd the guys earlier this weekend saying he was sneaky good. I just felt like he was making plays all over the field. I mean, he's got good vision. He's got a nice catch radius. He was catching everything, whether it was one-handed.
Remember to unmute your mic, Coach. I'm going to play his tape here for you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hey, everybody hears you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to play it right now for you, though.
All right. Tag to him too. Playing Oklahoma, I believe Miami Dolphins. I'd be super excited. I think he'd start out being for us, he'd be a 3.
What's up, dude?
He's smooth. I like him.
No, he is. Again, he looks the part, plays the part very well. He has such a good size, 6'1", 208.
Yep.
Something I would love for him to work on is just to play to his size, be a little more physical. I think that's something he could pick up in the next level. But other than that, he's not a consolation. I mean, he would be a great consolation prize, but it's not like, oh well, you got no. He's a damn good player, and he's gonna be a solid player in the next level.
He'll be somebody's number 2 from the get go. Unless Miami picks him, then he'll have to settle for being number 3.
Which is fine. Learn behind a great player in Tyree. Play next to Jalen. And you know what? When one of those guys do go down because of the NFL life, you have a great player there to develop and to start up.
And he really snuck into my top 5 because I started at the bottom of our list. I was working way up. And then I started at the top and had those 5 ranked and completely forgot that I had him ranked higher than the kid from LSU, who everybody likes too, at 21. So if they got Javon Baker or the kid from LSU at 21, I would be happy with either one of them. But he caught my eye. He's one of them.
Hey,
I like finding those gems that not everybody.
That's right. About. You can't hang on that. And I love going on looking through the tea leaves and finding one of those guys that no one else is talking about. And I caught him a little early on in regards to just doing the mock draft. I saw him one day. I saw him available. I said, I'm going to research him. And I started going and I started reading and I started watching him. I'm going, well, damn. Yeah.
I think you brought him up to me last week, and that's kind of why his name was in the back of my head. And then I started watching the film, and I was like, damn, this guy I like a lot.
So there you go. Malik Neighbors, number 1. Marvin Harrison Jr., number 2. Javon Baker, UCF, Central Florida, number 3. Third best receiver in this class for Coach Vogel. Keon Coleman, FSU. And Rome Odunze, Washington wide receiver, top 5. So those are your top 5 picks or top 5 receivers for Coach Vogel. And again, full disclosure, these change as time goes on. We go back, we watch more film, more stuff comes out. It may update. So, but as of right now, watching film, these are his guys. Moving on to myself, and forgive me, my voice is starting to go. I wish I had some water here, but that's all right. Look at this right here. Bam. Love Neighbors being number 1. Let's see. Okay. Here's this. Okay, perfect. I'm glad he did it this way. Missing my number 4, but that's okay. Because that's a surprise. We have 2 1s. That's right, and that's okay. First off, 1A, 1B. Marvin Harrison, 1A, 1B. You could put either one of these guys there. He is everything as advertised, Like his father, I expect Harrison Jr. to be an immediate impact player in the NFL right away. Watching his film, it's easy to see why people are saying the Bears should consider him as the number 1 pick. The size, the film, the production, the skill set, everything you want in your number 1 receiver, you can't go wrong with him if he's your top pick. Thank you, my son. My son gives me a water. That's clutch, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
That's Tristan, guys.
Super clutch.
Super clutch.
Super clutch. Can we start calling him Super Clutch Tristan now?
Yeah. That's it. My boy.
Pride and joy.
Pride and joy. That's right.
There you go.
And 1B, dude. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Malik Neighbors. When I put his film on, it was eye-popping. I mean, I believe you can make an argument. Again, like I said, he's either 1A or 1B. I wouldn't argue with you. You put him at number 1. You did. How can I argue? He should be there in that conversation. He makes playing receiver look easy to me. The way he changes speed mid-route, beats the defender, the way he leaps into the air like he's an Olympian playing for a gold medal. LSU has popped out some great wide receivers. Odell, Jarvis Landry, former Dolphin, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, not Jordan Jefferson. They're doing that again. Neighbors could end up being the best one, in my opinion. I mean, I just love what I see from this kid. Number 2, Rome Odunze, Washington. Elite size, elite ball skills, my type of receiver. Big and physical, doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he makes up for it with his playmaking ability. Loves to go up and get the ball on a contested catch. He's going to end up as a volume target on day 1, I believe, for the regular season. In his NFL career, it could make a case for offensive rookie of the year depending on the situation and what team drafts him, because of the type of receiver he's going to be for a team. Brian Thomas. Everybody's linking Brian Thomas to the Dolphins. And why the hell not? Again, great size, 6'3", 200. Another LSU receiver who should make an immediate impact in the NFL. Maybe not as an immediate as his former teammate and neighbors, but over time could be there right with him. Got the size, the speed, the skills, the production that could attract teams at the end of round one. Keon Coleman. Another one, you look at the numbers and you might go, okay. But you watch him on film and you could see why a lot of people thought Jordan Travis was so damn good. But when you watch Jordan Travis, you're kind of like, yeah. But the weapons he had were elite. You got Jaheim Bell, Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson. But Keon Coleman, again, the size, 6'3", 200 pounds, over 200. Great ball skills. Not the fastest, not the smoothest. He's some things to work on. Needs to work on his route running, but his playmaking ability will attract teams. A former basketball player has no issue extending his body, making the big play. I could see him early on in his career being used as a red zone threat or even at the slot at times. And then my number 5, Lad McConkey out of Georgia. Again, you look at the numbers and you go, But when you watch his tape, when his numbers don't pop out at you, the film does. If I could just pull up my notes. Okay, 6 feet, 185 pounds, 30 receptions, 478, 3 touchdowns. The year prior to that, he did finish with 58 receptions, 762 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Let me go ahead and jump on this film here for you guys. Now, again, his numbers might not jump out to you, but his film will. What stood out to me was his explosiveness, hustle, route running ability, and footwork, making it difficult for even the best spin moves. McConkey. Mike McDaniel. Voice killing me. But yeah, brother, man,
he's got good tape too. Another one of those that you can see him in multiple positions that would help out Miami as well. Josh Wingate, dogs love Lad.
Yeah, Georgia Bulldogs. Sorry, guys, let me read these comments for you. All right. Anthony Wilson will never play in the NFL. Who are we talking about? Johnny Wilson. Scouts prefer. Well, scouts probably prefer Johnny Wilson over Keon Coleman because of his size. I did see some. I saw Johnny Wilson's a little bit from watching Keon Coleman film, and I like what I saw a little bit, but I have to watch more because I see a lot of people like Daniel who don't like Wilson at all. So before I even mention anything on Wilson, I love his size, but I got to watch more on him.
We're gonna get the rest of the wide receivers done.
I don't think wide receiver should go number 1, and this draft is so deep. I'd want to see Miami look at later rounds. If they could, if they do, I could see Troy Franklin or Adonai Mitchell. That is Josh Wingate. Coach says, I like the Cup comparison. Who's that? Who's Cooper Cup? Comparison.
McConkey.
Oh, okay. Love Lad. Go Dogs. Oh, okay. So Johnny Wilson can't catch a football. That's yeah, because I was going to say, I mean, watching this guy here, and as much as he didn't play, I mean, what he was able to do with the football in his hands, and anytime he got it, Lad McConkey, I mean, I love that.
I think
that's my thing. Like, dude, about Lad, I mean, the cuts he was making, the moves the players that were missing, a lot of the good players. I mean, he had ankle issues in his second year, or this past season. I mean, he was breaking ankles on film. I mean, this dude, again, in the screen situation, you could plug him in at running back as a returner. You could put him in the slot. He's an everyman. and I think he's going to be a very special player in the NFL. On tape, I seen for Johnny that the guy did perfectly fine. It's just not consistent. He tries to the worst moments. Okay, I'm going to watch it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. All right,
I was going to say with Keon Coleman, he started out at Boston College, didn't he?
He started, I think he started elsewhere.
Yeah, I think he did himself.
What's up, Scotty?
I think he did himself well transferring to Florida State for the last 2 years.
All right. Let me get this ready here, Coach. If you want to see any questions there you want to answer. We have 102 people watching. No pressure for you, Coach.
Scotty wanted to know that had Ladd had any tightrope surgery. I'm not sure about. For his ankle injuries?
I'm not sure. University of Texas Commerce. Good evening, Scotty.
For some reason, I thought he was at Boston College at one point.
That is the reason why Donnie Mitchell is coming out of Texas and not Georgia. Ooh.
No, I'm thinking of somebody else now.
All right. So, you know what time it is? Let me get it up.
It is game time. Showtime, folks.
Time to put on that war paint and get ready for the war room. Now, Coach, can you see the comments?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could do me the gracious favor of making sure you keep your eyes on that.
Okay.
We could let the viewers participate in this. We'll have, of course, your and my opinion. We'll have the final say, but at least we could you can say, hey, Scotty said, take a look at this guy, or Daniel said, or Josh, who's tuning in. Josh can't talk. He's trying to rest his voice. He's getting over being sick. We miss him. We hope he's here next week, not because he has to be here, but because he's feeling better. But yeah, Manzano, CCRR. Guys, we're getting ready for the war room. We're going to do the mock draft simulator. We are going to do it in the way of
trade down, I agree. Trade down, get more capital.
Yes. So that's always kind of the preference right now because Miami needs it. But especially now that Miami's made a lot of moves in free agency, where they've kind of balanced out the roster with depth, they could move down and not really be killing themselves. So here's how it works. This is how it works.
I think that the positions that we need we're deep in, right? So if you trade back, you're still going to get somebody.
That's what I mean. Again, when I say the Brock Bowers thing, if just as a reference, but you signed Johnny Smith, he's very capable of being a starting tight end and a successful one, especially if they use him right. You got Brock Bowers sitting there. That doesn't mean you don't get Brock Bowers. Now you could do it, and now look at your tight end room. So, okay, just again, for those who have not seen the war room and how we've done this segment, we don't go, okay, Coach, you got a chance. Now I do it. Now this person doesn't. No, we're all involved. We're in the war room. We're a team.
We are the war room, baby.
So it's not perfect because we can't do fantasy. We're like, oh, I'm going to draft this guy, and I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to make this trade. No, Coach has to agree with him what to do, and I have to agree with Coach on what he has to do. So it's working as a team, kind of like how an actual NFL team does it, and then we try to make the best case scenario. So here we go. Into the war room. Pause. Should have done this first. I will say the first pick is Caleb Williams. All right. Here we go. Share. Kabooyah.
Ooh, that's tiny.
Yeah, it is. All right.
I'm gonna blow it up just until we get to us.
Yeah, works for me. All right. Let's see. All right, so the first pick, Bears take Caleb Williams, passing on Jaden and Drake. So let's go ahead and resume this. Trades will be considered here, FYI.
Brock Bowers to the Chargers.
Oh, and I think Anthony Manzano was just talking about.
There goes JJ McCarthy to the Vikings.
Went to the Vikings. There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, let me back out of this for just a minute. Okay, here we go. So who's on the board right now? We got
Verse
is on the board. Edge rusher.
Cooper DeJean, Brian Murphy.
Let me go ahead and go to offensive line very quick. All the guys right there available.
Yeah.
Troy Fautanu, Tyler Guyton. Offensive guard, Graham Barton, Christian Hines, Cooper Bebe, Zach Frazier, Cedric Van Pran. Then we go to tight end. Of course, we're good there.
Your wide receiver got taken at 20 by the Steelers.
Look at that. We got Keon Coleman, 29, Donnie Mitchell, Lad McCunkey, Xavier Worthy, Troy Franklin, but that could wait. Let's just look here just to see. Okay. And go to defense. I'm sorry. Gerard Verse, Johnny Newton, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Byron Murphy, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Leonard Taylor, Kamari Lassiter. So those are the guys that are left, Coach. So we got 3 trade offers here. You got a trade with Atlanta, 43 and 74, and a second-round pick. Looks similar to the Vikings trade with Houston.
Yeah.
You got this one here, trade down to 26 and get a third for next season.
Ooh. 24 and 56. That
Wingate.
Let me see what the crew says. Let's see what the my guy Manzano says Tyler Guyton or trade down. That Dallas pick is interesting. That's 2 picks in the top 100, which we're both fans of.
100%. You're basically trading up. You're trading down 3 spots, but you're basically trading up from trading up from 158 to 56. You're trading up 100 spots. Yeah. So for me, I obviously trading down 4 spots and getting a third round pick for next year, cool. But 3 spots 5 spots. This one similar to the Texans trade. So probably a little realistic there. 43-74 the second rounder for next year. That's fine. But this one right here, you're still right there. Yeah. You got some good people there available.
Yeah.
I think, okay, Anthony Manzano says the Cowboys trade down. Yeah. You're saying trade down. I'm going to go ahead and trade down. I agree. Verse was their pick.
All right.
So Taylor Newbin, Kamari Lassiter, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Byron Murphy, Cooper DeJean still available on the board. Murphy is at 26 and available. We've got 3 trades. Here's another one. We're trading basically from 198 to 64 and trading down to 32.
36 to 67.
Ooh, and a first rounder for Washington's first round pick. And you got 31 and 63. So let me tell you something. Let me just say something.
Yeah,
there's some good deals on this board.
I know there
are. You could stay in the first round with these 2 guys here, or you trade down.
I mean, if this were a live board, it'd be hard to not take that Washington offer and get that first next year.
Yeah.
But I honestly like first round 49ers better. Somebody was asking if Brian Murphy's still on the board, and he is.
Brian Murphy is still on the board. But with how deep the draft class is at D tackle.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable.
That's a better. We're getting 2 better picks with the San Francisco trade than we would with the Chiefs.
I just don't think these trades for me, Scotty. I understand where you're coming from because I've seen some crazy, stupid trades. Yeah. But to me, especially after seeing what the Vikings and Texans did, you kind of get an idea of what could go down. These do seem a little more realistic, but let's just right now they are real. Let's pretend these are real. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's Scotty, what's your opinion on this? What trade would you take if you had to make this deal? Anthony says Washington. Coach?
I like the San Francisco one the best.
Okay.
I guess Washington in real life scheme of things, if we actually were getting that first round pick, but here we're getting 31 and 63, and Washington we're getting what, 37.
If you're real, you have to take the first round pick. Okay. So Scotty and Anthony both say that take the Washington trade because you get that first rounder for next year.
Yeah.
So you're moving into the second round here. You're trading up from 184 to 67, and you're getting a first rounder for next year.
Yeah, that first rounder would be really hard to pass up. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I could reject that at all with that first rounder sitting there because it's Washington. That's going to be a high first round pick.
You
right?
keep your first, yeah. And Josh brings up a good point. This is something to consider if you're running a team. You trade out of that first round, you lose the 5th-year option on your first pick. So, we have 3 people here saying make this trade for the first round pick, and you still get 2 picks. So you're basically trading up. So because we can still get sweat.
Aren't you more concerned about that 5th-year option more on the quarterback type than on the defensive tackle?
Fair. That's true.
Right?
That's fair.
I mean, that's kind of my thinking on it. Like everybody keeps talking about that 5th-year option for the quarterback because it makes things supposedly cheaper in the long run. Whereas, I feel like outside of that, how long did we have Wilkins before?
Let me put these comments up here, just so everybody could see them. So because we could still get T'Vondre Sweat, I like him way better than Byron Murphy because of his size. I like Murphy way better because of his film. Take the 49ers trade. That's 3 picks in the first 2 rounds. Scotty says for the trade for Washington, you have 2 firsts, a second, 3 thirds, a fourth, 2 fifths next year. That's crazy. And considering what position Miami may be in next year, true that.
That's true. Thanks, Josh. That's a good point.
All right. So let's just say, okay, coach. So let me just do this. 49ers, Daniel says 49ers trade. Scotty says Washington. Anthony says Washington. Josh says San Francisco. So
yeah.
where are you leaning here, brother? I'm just hoping not to be the tiebreaker.
No, I now that Josh said what he said and losing that, it'd be hard for me to go past 31 with the 49ers pick.
Fair.
I mean, we did get Wilkins for 1 extra year,
but
we would have lost him.
Yeah,
you're a tiebreaker, buddy. You are the GM on this trade.
I am. Okay, so I'm honestly, I'm gonna roll with Scotty and Anthony on this.
Go for it.
Because again, saves you a year from a huge contract. Understandable. The draft is so deep, and you're considering the situation Miami is in right now, what could face next season. If you could go in the next year's draft with 2 first rounders, whether that's to trade up to get a top player, or if you don't work out a deal with your quarterback and you need to go get one, you got 2 first round picks to kind of be in your back pocket, especially in contract negotiations.
Yeah, Washington one, dude, they're going to be top 5, top 10 at the worst.
They're not going to be some great team.
And you could package that in 32 and see what I did there.
I see what you did. All right,
go for it.
All right, I'm gonna. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm the deal breaker or the what do you call it, the tiebreaker? I'm gonna roll with Washington's trade.
Go for it. All right, roll them picks off. Make me cry a little bit, and then we'll.
Byron Mercy falls.
So far. We just got snookered.
Damn. All right. So I'm not worried about this one.
I think I'm going to take a play.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm right now. I'm fine. Because look at this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks in the top 100.
Yeah.
All right. So here it is. So looking at what we need. Okay, best player available. But let's look at what we need here. You got Miami has been able to do it. Miami has filled out their depth at defensive line. We know that doesn't mean they're not going to go get a starting caliber guy, but they have it. Let's see: Jordan Poyer, Barrett, Jordan Brooks, linebacker, Jonnu Smith, Neville, Serene, Kendall Fuller, Jordy Fortson. And who they brought back, Benito Jones, Deshaun Hand, and I think Gallimore. Yeah.
Yep.
So they have depth there. Okay. Now,
what's our all board?
That's exactly where I'm going. So looking at, okay, let's go to defensive line for a moment, since those are the two guys that are up there.
Leonard Taylor, Darius Robinson.
So Leonard, so I liked Taylor more than you did.
But I'd still take him.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him more than both of you guys did. Overall, our overall grade, and it calculates it and it gives us what round after our overall grade gives him. We have a 3rd round grade on him. That's our overall grade.
Right.
I have a mid-second, I believe, on him. Rook Ororo, who I like a lot. Ororo
from Clemson. Yep.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay, I got Taylor higher. Graded higher. So I like this. Let me see. Next would be offensive line. Let's take a look at offensive line. Kingsley. Guards. Christian Hines is still on the board. Cooper Bebe.
Ooh, Mahogany's still there too.
Yeah. Mahogany
Van Pran was there.
Now, of course, though, if you're going off my board, my board, I was just saying about D lineman. If you're going off my board,
Fisk
is my number 1 tackle, D tackle.
Yep.
And he's there.
Yep.
So that's my board, But let's be fair here. You said receiver, right?
No, I would, yeah.
So let's take a look at receiver. We have to, right? Because we just talked about it at 21. All right, so go to wide receiver. Right.
Vlad McConkey.
Vlad McConkey is on the board.
Leggett is there.
So
go for it. You said if he was there.
If I said he was in the 2nd round, if we moved into the 2nd round.
You're 36 and 55. Your D tackle's probably going to be there at 55.
So let me look at everybody here. I want to make sure because I want to include everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do that. I can do that.
Oh, no, you're good, brother. So, all right.
Yeah, Wingate is the 1st round pick. I'm surprised he's still there.
I think you go Tyler or Fisk. Scotty, okay? Braden Fisk has to be the pick. Josh Wingate. Guys, don't forget receiver. Fisk is a 1st round pick. I agree he is. Is Franklin still there? Troy Franklin? No. Oh, wait. Damn it. This thing is just being dumb with me. No, I don't see him there. All right. You know what? I know what I like. I know what I said. Scotty says you got to go between Taylor or Fisk. I love Fisk. I think he is a 1st round pick. Josh says he has to be the pick. I'm down with that. Oh, never mind. He quit. He has left the team. He is no longer. Yes, you did get kicked out. I don't know why. So get yourself back in. All right. So I guess we got to play it being like realistic, I guess. I thought you got mad at me, Chief.
No, not at all.
I'm like, damn, man.
Everything just froze up in circles. So I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, but you could get him 55 with this board. And then you're saying, okay, if I'm going by their board, am I going by my board? Because at my board, Fisk is higher than 55.
Yes. And we're going
So
with,
that's the thing, Manzano. I want.
yeah,
We're not done with the board, and once we do, we're going to share it. We have great plans for it. We're busting our asses getting it done. But
he's high on all three of our boards.
That's true. You see, and that's the thing, Scotty. And that's what I'm conflicted with. What Scotty's saying. You could go Lad here and then get Fisk at 55. But does he actually?
Does he get it? Does he make it to 55?
That's the thing.
Which do you need worse, Lad McConkey or Fisk?
That's a good question because Miami has solid depth now at D line right now. They don't have a starter next to Sealer, in my opinion.
In my opinion,
yeah,
I want the guy that I can contribute day one, and that can be a difference maker. And I think the film that we all saw on Fisk would say he's definitely a difference maker.
Okay,
especially with the injuries to those positions, I would go Fisk here.
I'm rolling with you, and I love Fisk. I don't regret this whatsoever. I'm going to roll with Fisk. I think Scotty, you, Josh Wingate all said it. I think I think you get your starting caliber player right there, and I do believe he's going to be a difference maker day one.
And there goes McConkey to Bengals.
Yeah, but I'm not basing off this board. I'm going off my board.
Yeah, we're going off.
I'm just basically the list that's here, Anthony. You're going off their board. We're going off our board. Basically, the list that's this here is a list. This is who's available. Then we go look at the players we have touched and looked at, and we go from there.
Yeah.
All right.
We need both of these picks. Ooh, Newman. Newman's still there.
Newman's on the board. Safety. And look, I know we got Jordan Poyer. We got Javon Holland, but we lost Deshaun Elliott. The Dolphins wanted to bring back Deshaun Elliott, even though they signed Jordan Poyer. Do not sleep at a safety at any of these picks.
I mean, you could snag him right now, and I'd be
the general consistency. But we're not going off general consistency. We're going off us and what we're the consistency of what we've watched.
The board that we've put together.
Can you look at corner? Absolutely, we could look at a corner.
Melton, Carson, TJ James.
The draft just started, Daniel. We only made one pick. Still no receiver. And we do need a third receiver.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right.
Leggett. Oh, my God. Leggett. Leggett's there.
Well, you're not going to go wrong because once you draft whoever you're going to draft, you're getting a guy.
Leggett's my favorite wide receiver, and Newman's my favorite safety.
Okay.
I mean, you get 55 and 56, so however you want to do it.
So, to make Daniel happy, we're going to go at our receiver, Xavier Leggett.
Yeah.
From South Carolina. I believe Josh Wingate likes Leggett a lot.
Josh Wingate's the one tooting the horn for him.
And then here we go best player available, and he's high on our board. I think he's number one. He is, right?
Yep.
Newman. We'll get Newman. That secondary is
we get
awfully
67. Pretty. Oh, there's your tight end.
All right. So
you got Sanat tight end.
Ben Sanat's there. And we did get, we have the guy out of Kansas City. We signed Janu Smith.
Van Pran's at 72 is there.
Van Pran is still on the board. You can move. You could have him as your backup center to Brewer, or move Brewer to guard.
Yeah.
You do need an edge rusher. Brandon Dorless is still on the board.
What do we have for linebacker?
Cedric Gray, Junior Carlson.
Jeremiah Trotter. You were a Trotter fan, weren't you?
Not a super fan. I think I like Carlson more, obviously. Let's see here. Austin Booker. I think the Dolphins met with Austin Booker. I think I have that here, don't I? They did meet with Austin Booker. All right.
Try Wingo.
No, Dave, you're good, brother. We're almost about done. Appreciate you, brother.
It'd be hard to pass on Sanat or Jenkins at tackle. That's D tackle. That's another one of those.
I think for me, obviously, I love Ben Sennett. I like what he could bring to this offense. But you need an edge rusher, Brandon Dorless. Very good player. Cedric Van Pran, offensive line. Not with this show, Daniel. We like to include everything. Finstock today will do no trades on Saturday with Fish saying Hank. So
it's probably easier to get through that, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll do one after this. We'll do a fast one after this. But right now,
no trades.
Yeah, we'll do one right after this with no trades. All right. For me, I'm gonna roll. I mean, I'm between Brandon Dorless or Cedric Van Pran. That's where I'm behind. That's where I'm at. Mahogany's there.
I like Mahogany to put right there. Well, no, because we have center, right? I mean, we just signed the center, so
we got Brewer, but Brewer could play. Yeah, Brewer could play guard or center. Mahogany could help at one of the guard spots if you trust Eichenberg.
No, I trust Eichenberg for what he is, and that's a backup.
Yeah, I know you like Mahogany.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to be available later.
I would roll with Mahogany right here. He's still on the board. That's your dude, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
And Anthony says he's a right guard. We need a right guard unless you trust Eichenberg.
I know you guys love Eichenberg.
Yeah. I know they do too. So we have a
there goes Spencer.
We have an invader. We have an invader behind the scenes here. What's up, Rob? Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com, home.
My man Thirsty.
Yeah, home of some great Dolphins content. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to DolphinsThirsty.com. Courtney and haven't talked a lot. Well, you get them together, they're gonna keep going. And this is the whole thing about Miami's trade, right? Or Miami staying with no picks in the center right there. You got a long wait.
Oh, I didn't even know Finn Stanza was there. Oh, my bad, Finn Stanza. Yeah. I ain't no trader. Oh, there goes Jordan Travis.
Well, Daniel, about when the no trades, trying to be realistic. Brother, I don't think any of these things are actually realistic because you know how it is, dude. We've done, I know you've been on for years watching the show, and I appreciate you for as long as I've done this. I remember you. But you know how it is, man. That's why I can't stand when people say, oh, there's no way that guy's going to be there. And then, in the second round or third round, and then he's there. Or there's no way they're going to draft this guy in the top 10, and then he gets drafted in the top 15 or 10. It's just mock drafts are just for fun. I wouldn't say any of them are realistic because of the, it's just what it is. It's just a simulator, But that's just my opinion, brother.
There goes my wide receiver. Javon Baker got taken. I didn't know he was still available.
Let's see. What's our last pick?
Our next pick is 198.
With our last pick, get a punter. No. I'm just playing.
So we have 198 and 241.
I think so, yeah.
Feeling any better? Not really.
Let's see here. 198, 241. All right, let's go ahead to all. Tyler Davis on the board. Dalen Holker, tight end. Sorry. Let's see here. Eric All met with the Dolphins. What running backs are still on the board? Great question. Let's take a look. running back. Carson Steele out of UCLA. I liked him last year. Haven't watched much of him this year. Want to get a chance to sit down and watch him. Kendall Milton on the board. George Halani. Is there Dejon Edwards? Is there anybody, Scotty, that you are looking into particular? So we have we got a receiver. We didn't get an edge. We did not get an edge, but at this point, what's the point? Unless we really like a guy. There's nobody I really can think of. What about the tight end from Washington? Let's see. What's his name, Daniel? Who are you looking for?
Ford, he's what, 6'6"?
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah, but Dalen Holker would be the guy I take here. If you're going to go tight end, I would take Holker.
Yeah, he's my favorite tight end.
Let's see. All right, Coach. Wish I had some notes on him. I don't. I'm going to go with the guy I do know. At least.
Who's that?
I would like to go Dalen Holker, tight end.
I agree.
Colorado State.
Gladly take him.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with him. I like Dylan Johnson's size. Grab Spanford as an unrestricted free agent. I disagree, just to be a son of. Yeah. Good man. All right. All right, if you stay there, I'm going to take you. Well, I'm going to at least pound the table for
you. Who are you looking at?
Oh, never mind. You got to it. As soon as I said it, I jinxed myself.
Here we go, 241.
All right. I like the kid from Boise State, the running back. Let's go back to running backs because guys are talking about running backs. And Scotty said, what did Scotty say? I like Dylan Johnson. 5'11", 217. Okay.
Sounds like a thumper.
This dude I liked last year.
225, yeah, Milton.
I liked him last year, man. Kendall Milton. Go to special teams.
Yeah. Punter.
Troy.
That kid from Iowa booms it.
I think that's who he was talking about. Is it Troy Taylor or Troy? Is it Troy Terry?
Troy Taylor. Troy.
You know what? It's our last pick. Because Finstanza's in the house, he's tuning in. He's like behind the scenes here. He's invading our space, but that's okay. We love him.
That's right. Let him pick his punter.
And we know how much he loves Jake Bailey. And Scotty wants a punter. Let's go get Tory Taylor to compete with Bailey. Let's do that. We down? We're down. All right. There you go. Let's see if Finstanza's happy. Finstanza's not really a turn. This is called the War Room. And so what happens here is we're all involved like a team. You're in the War Room. You're running the Dolphins, and we work together to make the picks. That's why they're not like, I'm going to keep the pick. I'm going to go take this guy, and I'm going to trade down and get this guy. We're all running it. So that's how we do it.
That 2025 first-round pick is sitting pretty right now.
Down with Bailey. So there you go.
Hey.
Brandon Fisk, you secure your defensive line. Xavier Legette, you get your third wide receiver. Big body, big guy. People compare him to DK Metcalf. Taylor Newbin, our number one safety, I believe, on the board.
Yep.
For us, he's still there at 56. You pick him up. You got him now with Jordan Poyer, Javon Holland. Poyer's only for one season. Christian Mahogany, coach loves him. We got him at 67. Dalen Holker, you got some depth at tight end. You could go ahead and get rid of any one of those guys behind him. I like him a lot. And then because of Finstanza and Benzano, we go get a punter, Tory Taylor, compete with Jake Bailey, and a first-round pick.
Can we just go ahead and designate Finn Stanza as our special teams coordinator?
That's right. I love my face, by the way.
Recruit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Coach, bear with me just a moment. I'll turn my camera off. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Well, hello. This is the Coach Vogel Show. Thank you, everybody, for playing. That was fun. I'd struggle if I had to do this by myself.
Here, I won't leave you alone, okay?
There you go. There we go.
I won't leave you alone. I was letting you enjoy the show, but look, he leaves you. That's why I'm here.
I know.
Plus, you haven't joined me on the bandwagon in about 6 years.
I haven't.
You don't notice my beautiful comments where I'm complimenting you. Oh God, he's back. Oh God, he's back.
I said I'll be right back.
That was too long. Vogel couldn't last 30 seconds.
I kept looking at my own face, and I was like, I can't do this by myself.
He couldn't deal with his close-up.
Oh,
I'm always here. I'm always here. Guys, there's breaking news. I'm probably the most positive Dolphins fan around right now. It's hilarious. People could not believe that every show I've gone on, Bobby, how positive I am being. And I say to myself, just go talk to Bobby. Bobby will quickly remind you of who I truly am.
They don't know the truth.
The truth. I'll go a little lower so I can be as short as you.
We have Fitzstanza here. So we're gonna run it one more time, this time quicker and no trades, just for Daniel Meehan. I know Miami has shown interest. Devon Cole. I'm gonna look that up, brother. Devon, let me write it down because I don't want to forget. How you doing, Evan? What's up, brother?
Honestly, now that every day I have a crap. Honestly, the last month, like I said, I was pretty bored because there was nothing happening in Dolphins land. But now that free agency started, which is my favorite time of the year, it's like always what I look forward to with this team because they always like to make fun changes, and I really like what they've done so far. I really have. I have an annoying day at work or something bothers me. People invite me to come on a podcast. I don't even invite myself, and all my problems go away.
I don't believe you. Hey,
I got invited today.
I'm available.
No, I actually asked Bobby. The only one I trolled into was his last week because I missed Alex. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, but honestly, it's so much fun to talk about right now. Like, it's just like even for me, I'm sure you loved it today, Vogel. Even if they were just named Isaiah Wynn coming back.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I don't care. Jeff Driscoll is a depth signing, but he started. And I watched a little bit of his tape actually this evening. And the guy actually moved a little bit. There was a game against the Bills where he actually started. He actually played pretty well. Haynes from the Seahawks. They brought him in for a visit. He started 8 games last year before he went on IR. As many players you can bring in on the offensive line to fight for spots, I don't care. And honestly, if they sign Haynes from Seattle, you have 5. You actually have 5 actual starters next year.
So let me ask you this.
And that doesn't include Connor Williams, which I already told people that Connor Williams will be a Dolphin again.
Was the Haynes we got from Seattle, was that the one?
No, he didn't sign him yet. He came for a visit.
No, but was that the one that we drafted last year and then cut in the 7th round? He was drafted in the 3rd round or 4th round by Seattle. He's been with Seattle since he was drafted.
Evan, let me ask you this very quick. Yeah, so watching how Miami has done it, man, we touched on it a little bit, but the way the solid free agency so far with the stuff that they had, the money that they had, they were able to do what they've been able to do. The sign the positions they've been able to sign. You talk about the offensive line now. We just brought up Isaiah Wynn's back, all this whatnot. Kind of frees them up a little bit, in my opinion, for the draft. Let them have that flexibility at 21. Are you at the point now in your head where it's like, you know what, go get the best player available at 21? Or is there still like, no, man, we need to target this specific position or this specific guy?
I know. So I said this on Doll's Diaries. I said it on the bandwagon last week. There are 3 players that, off the top of my head, that they are gimmies. You have to go take them if they're there, and that's Jackson Powers, that is Brian Thomas, and that's Brock Bowers. Those are the 3 players that are players that might not fit the mold of a certain team that's falling. Outside of that, if they don't want to trade back, go get BPA. I said actually on Doll's Diaries that I believe that the position I think they're going to go get at that pick if those players are not there, and you guys can recommend who you think we should get there. But if the player is not there, I want to trade back. Like unless there's a true starter that is there that you believe will start at that position next year, game one, trade back. Because if you think about it, remember how we were all shocked how early Jack Campbell went last year? You and me had him in so many mock drafts. The three of us with Brett had him like in the second or third round, like in the 40s. He went at 8. What was he, 18? Laporta, we had him in the 50s. He went in the 30s. Like you have to show you need to, if you're in your first 2 rounds, unacceptable from the Dolphins if the 2 players you draft in the first and second round are not starters.
Yeah.
With the way they've planned this, I think there's not going to be a big signing now. They're going to wait till they might restructure Tyreek, but I think they're going to wait till post June 1st to start signing veterans again or make the team better. They want to see how mini camps go, how OTAs go, and then I believe that they need the first 2 picks of this draft have to be starters, not development players. They have to be starting players who are going to be on that line or on that edge or the third wide receiver, someone who's starting and plays a key role on the Miami Dolphins next year. If not, they blew the draft.
All right. So let's do this. Because per request of Daniel, we have a little bit of time. Again, on this show, though, we do include trades because we just want to have all the scenarios play out. But because we have a little bit of time, and now that Finstanza's with us, Coach, which is pretty cool. He was with us all last year. But
I'll be back. I'm back if you want me.
It's all good, brother. Let's do this one with no trades. So we're going to go with whoever's on the board here. Yep. And I mean, talk about best player available. Holy edge rusher, Leatu Latu, Gerard Verse, Jackson Powers. So we're going to do it like this. Okay. Let me put myself up here. So that way it kind of goes by list. Coach, looking at this first, and if it stands out, you're going to have second say, and I'll finish it up. If I have to be the tiebreaker, I'll be the tiebreaker. Coach, you want me to look at any specific position, or are you going off whoever's on the top of this board?
No, the two guys I love are right there.
And who's the one you love the most?
Love Jackson Powers Johnson, obviously, but Latu. Yep. I mean, Latu. If you're going best player available, that's Latu. But
it's also a Mike McDaniel pick.
I think either one of those guys would step in and play day one at their respective positions.
All right, I'm Constanza. Down with that?
I made So I obviously Jackson Powers is staring me right in the face, but I actually said I made a prediction just before on the previous show that if you listen very carefully to Mike McDaniel, the one thing he did say is that he would, with his first pick, he would take an edge rusher every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. So whether it's Devondre Sweat, whether it's Leatu, whoever it is. So if Leitu's sitting there, that's who Mike McDaniel and Chris
drafted.
Take. That's who they're going to draft. That's his favorite position. As an offensive guy, that is his favorite position.
I do remember him saying that.
Now the good news is
I'm not just an ugly face here, Vogel.
I do remember now that you said that. I do remember him.
I have a memory. I'm a bank.
So I will say this. Oh crap! Did I listen? Well, okay. Bradley Chubb. We. What's good news is that Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. There's a report that they're expected to come back at the start of the season, which is great news. I figured they would, especially after meeting Jalen. He looked like he was great. He was doing well. But he's coming on a contract year soon. Bradley Chubb is on a high contract. Do they restructure? Do they move on? So grabbing an edge early would be great for Miami. I already know who I'm going with this pick, but I'm going to keep it quiet until I hear from you. Finstanza, what do you think?
Based on where we are right now, you're probably going to disagree with me, but the one guy I would take, just because I see the structure of our secondary right now, we're missing that third guy, and because I think Poyer is an older guy, and I think he will be here for a year. Maybe he'll come back next year. We don't know. The one I think we need another safety to balance out Holland, and I would take Cameron Kitchens.
All right. Coach.
My dog's trying to get in on the act as well.
Find a Georgia Bulldog. See if we can find one for you.
I have a feeling they need that third guy, and I think they're going to give Anthony Weaver what he wants.
Yeah, I just brought that up too before you pop in because we drafted Taylor Newbin, who's on top of our draft board, Fitzstanza. And the reason why, because people go, oh, you got Jordan Poyer, you got Javon Holland. Well, Miami wanted to bring back Deshaun Elliott, but he went elsewhere. They want that third safety. So third safety makes a lot of sense. But go ahead, Coach. What do you think? Who are you thinking?
Give me a look.
I can look at other
offensive line real quick. Yeah, offensive line, just to see who we. There's my guy Mahogany.
The only mahogany I like is wood. Always with the comments. It stands. I'm telling you.
I would go either Mahogany or the safety. Cam. I mean, there's a lot of people that are high on Kinchins.
All right, I'm going to ask you this. Let me do this, Coach, to help ease your pain.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, not Mahogany. Excuse me, Cam Kitchens or Troy Franklin.
I'd go Kinchins. I think there's better wide receivers low down the road.
All right, let's go Kitchens here. Anthony should be
I
out.
I was going to say, I say that to forget that we don't have another pick until 150.
That's right. You messed up.
I did.
I took a chance, bro. I'm just kidding.
There goes Cam Hart.
Oh, damn. I saw a guy. All right. Oh, okay. Nice small.
Cowing. I did some film study on Cowing.
Well, tell me about him. What do you see on him?
I mean, it wasn't I don't remember specifically. It wasn't.
It's all right.
As I remember.
So. Oh, okay. I know where I'm going here. Man, it's gonna be defense, but
go for it.
Well, I'm looking at Justin Abuji, Abugbe, whatever you call his last name. Evan.
Justin Abugbe.
Evan, can you pronounce that? Evan usually helps me with
Where
this.
are you?
Alabama defensive lineman.
Where is he? What number is he at?
Justin 152. Justin
number 52. 152.
Justin just Abuge. That's fine.
Abuge. Okay.
Abuge.
That's who I'd roll with. Defensive line help. We didn't draft a defensive tackle. I'd go that way.
All right.
Keith Randolph is there.
There's nothing on offense. How bad are wide receivers at this level? Because we've yet to take offense.
I mean, Cowing's decent. I remember I watched him.
I just don't like his size, dude. Like, I want a guy who.
I want a tall guy.
What are tight ends?
We have a tight end.
Where are we at tight ends?
Yeah, tight end.
Let's see. Oh, Dalen Hawker's there.
Yeah, Dalen Hawker's my favorite.
Yeah, I'll take Hawker, man.
See? Not just a pretty face.
Not just a pretty face.
He's fantastic.
Oh, Gabe Hall still on the board. Curtis Jacobs. We would have waited. We could have got Evan Williams in honor of Evan.
Nah. Evans are paying the asses.
What do we need? Wide receiver. I guess we haven't taken a single wide receiver, have we?
We took Dalen Hawker. Cornelius Johnson still on the board out of Michigan. 6'2", 212. I love the size.
I like that size. Go with him.
And it's the alma mater, Stephen Ross. Let's roll.
Let's roll. Roll Wolverines, roll.
All right. Ooh, I already know I'm going. I'm not going to say
There's your quarterback.
There you go. You said it before I did. I'm rolling with Joe Milton, bro.
By the way, how disappointed were you that Josh Dobbs is going to make more or less backing up Brock Purdy than we have for Mike White?
Did Dobbs go to San Francisco?
Yes, he did.
I didn't see that. That pisses me off. I just talked about him being the backup.
$2.5 million it's going to cost them.
That sucks. Damn.
By the way, I can't believe how much – I'm very surprised on how much they gave Chase Young to give him that guaranteed money at the Saints. They were desperate.
Oh, they were desperate.
$13 million guaranteed.
What do we have at I was going to say cornerback, but
wide receiver.
Corner? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just curious. Cornerback and safety.
241. What do they have? Guards are not going to do much. Nothing on the offensive line. What's a running back?
Kendall Milton is still on the board. I like him. I have to look into Deshaun Edwards. I've been meaning to because I always see his name. Manzano says go back for the punter.
Doesn't matter with the punter. But wait, let's all be clear. We did not keep Jake Bailey in order to punt. We kept him in order to hold.
To use that middle finger right there to hold that football.
He was great at holding the football. I haven't said a bad word about Jason Sanders in a very long time.
I know.
CCRR. When you're drafting a player at 184, a lot of guys, it is a kind of a toss-up if they're going to pan out.
I mean,
especially if you're the Miami Dolphins. When's the last time someone passed the 5th round lasted for us?
Exactly. And there's no trades in this one. So
I want to make guys. You want to do something crazy? You know who's crazy? How many years has Skylar Thompson played in this league? Like officially been on a roster? 2 years. How many touchdowns he's thrown? Squadoosh.
Well, when you're the third string.
He started multiple football games.
Yeah, but you're talking about 2-3 years.
Bro, any touchdowns in the game against Buffalo?
0. We put up 31 points. He gave us 0 touchdowns. 0 touchdowns.
All right, let's roll with the punter. Let's get it out of the way.
Yep. Punter. There he is. Take him.
That's it. That is it. Skadoosh. All right. There you go.
There it is.
No trades for Daniel. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you enjoyed it.
No, but the joke of the day, I have 2 predictions. They're either going to go edge rusher or just to make us all laugh. And I think we're all going to – I think how quickly will we end the draft show? How disappointed would you be if they went corner again? Like, if they went corner again, I would be really –
You just keep saying it. I know you keep going.
I'm convinced. I'm just convinced. They're going to keep on drafting corners till they find their corner. But now I think they're really set at the corner position. I think they just need to solidify – but it has to be BPA. Like, of all the drafts, it's your first-round pick in how many years? Oh, by the way, did you hear
for the first pick, I'm between edge rusher, receiver, or interior offensive line.
Yeah.
Or Fisk. I'm of course Fisk.
Fisk in the second round. But did you hear about the fact that the 49ers have to surrender a draft pick now, a 3rd rounder? They have to surrender a 3rd round draft pick this season because of an accounting error. They did some incorrect math, and they have to surrender. Here, 49ers. Here, let me tell you exactly. 49ers draft picks. Yeah, they screwed up. Updated list after NFL discipline. Yeah, they lost.
Give us 1 sec, Coach.
Sorry, 5th round pick. Sorry, 5th round pick maybe next year. Let me see what they say here. 5th round pick in 2025 and move one of their 4th round picks this year back a few spots. So they're losing a bunch of spots in their 4th round, and they have to surrender a 5th round pick next year. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Because they did an accounting error. So in addition to the next year's 5th rounder, the 49ers 4th round pick at 131 has been moved to 135.
Well, there you go. There's the end of the news. All right.
Calculations.
All right, guys. Well, look, we're about almost 2.
Him and his kids always pick up his kids.
2 hours in.
Have you noticed his kids are never home?
No, she's going to sleep. She needs to go to sleep.
I hear you, brother. It's good. Hey, guys, let me thank everyone for watching. Over 125 people tuning in right now between X, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. We appreciate you all watching. The network is growing. We're having a blast. Come back to us next week, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, always. Talk NFL draft. Coach Vogel and myself. Hopefully Wingate will be back. And until you catch Fitzdanza anywhere and everywhere, just keep the lookout. It's like the golden goose egg. You know, you might find him. Find Waldo.
3 days without me. I had to come back.
There you go.
Much
all right,
love,
guys. Appreciate you all. Like, subscribe. Most importantly, as always, fins up.
It's the Fins Talk Sports Network, FTSN, talking major sports and even wrestling. Bobby Fins Talk and his FTSN crew, they're taking deep dives just to entertain you. Talking Dolphins, Heat,